you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodriguez. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rodriguez operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field when you go make a play on the football.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds a man on a crossing route. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run. Uses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. It's complete to the tight end Bennett. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Space to maneuver at the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Out of the gun now on third down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Now they try the right side here. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, Just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right? An
incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Off the play fake, Rodriguez. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 51 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense, and you and I both know.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they try the right side here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. back to throw. Flush to his right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now the Packers get set to go. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10, down at the 33. To throw is Rodriguez. From the gun, he'll throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Back to throw. Rodriguez. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a handoff looking right. Touchdown, Vikings! Great effort there. 77 yards. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. And complete on the right side to Bennett. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Here's Rodriguez. Off play action. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect. But as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodriguez now operating from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rodriguez looking to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and 16. From the gun, Rodriguez. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
Apparently, they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw here is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop the throw. Eluding the pressure right. His throw incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
Or the mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Rodriguez off the play fake. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he is going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. The defense holds here on the final play of the half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 41 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Now let's go. Green 39, green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Gun, 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 gun. Over, 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 over. Gun, 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 gun.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. To throw is Rodriguez. From the gun, he'll throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Watch him now, Barney.
On third down, Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. They go play action here on first down. Now he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. Rodriguez to Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Here's Rodriguez, operating from the gun. He's going to float this one deep right, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Packers are able to cash in for 6. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as they'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, Is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they try the right side here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know what the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Rodriguez now. Back to the air on 2nd down. Bryant with a catch right side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the field. Now Rodriguez. Off play action. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. 3-19. They'll set up a throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got an NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. That's Watkins. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Over!
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Beckham with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you... Atlanta, our apologies. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to throw. Rodriguez. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Gone!
Rodriguez to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Back to throw. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Watkins that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Patriot! Patriot! Gun! 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 Hot!
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He finds Beckham complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
He's back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw here. Well, he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun! 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 Gun!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Odell Beckham with time running out. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They're going to look to throw. And his pass incomplete. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, 5, and he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get them in the end zone. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Green Bay, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our